What is a special economic zone in Moscow and how to become part of it?
There are many companies here that we can work with. They give us jobs, and we give them jobs too.
Soaring over the city in a cable car, when will Moscow have an aerial cable car system?
2 international manufacturers are already bidding for the contract, alongside Russian financial institutions and operating companies.
Dutch investment in Moscow cardboard.
This is BE Flute cardboard, which will help protect goods such as glass, crystal, and TV sets from damage. It's the kind of cardboard that is least vulnerable to creases and being crushed. And because of this, it can withstand heavy loads.
Moscow is a city of new opportunities. It is a city for life, for business, and for innovations. In the investment climate ranking of the Agency for Strategic Initiatives created by the Russian government, Moscow is #1 among all the Russian regions. And just 3 years ago, it was all the way down at 10th place. Such a successful rise in the ranking has become possible thanks to the efforts of the municipal authorities focused on improving the investment climate and business environment. Today, each ruble invested in the city's economy from the budget is joined by 3 to 4 rubles of private investment. In order to attract private investment, city authorities have developed a set of multiple incentive programs. One of them is the creation of the free economic zone in the city. Hi, I'm Mike Gibson. It's the program Capital Ideas Life. Right now, I'm situated in TECHNOPOLIS in Moscow. They say the future is being created right here, but what does that mean? Let's go investigate that together. Now we're in the southwest of Moscow. There are over 30 hectares of land stretching in front of us, with buildings and structures with a common name and the status of the special economic zone. The first thing that surprised us was, of course, the sheer size. The area of Technopolis is so vast that the best way to come here is either via special transport or electric vehicles. This place used to be a car factory manufacturing the legendary Moskvich automobile. Now it's completely different. It's a unique and contemporary workspace. The Special Economic Zone Technopolis Moscow is a research and production site for Russian and international high-tech companies and startups. Technopolis's residents work on research and innovation in microelectronics and instrument engineering, develop energy-efficient technologies, as well as design and produce telecommunications and medical equipment. There are nearly 8,000 people working here today. According to Igor Shenko, General Director of Technopolis Moscow, that number is going to double over the next 3 to 4 years.
Today, we work at 5 sites. One of them is here in Pechatniki, where we are at the moment. 4 other sites are in Zelenograd, which is a satellite town of the administrative center of Moscow. On top of this, we're going to integrate several more sites into this space, because as of today, we are already at full capacity. We should certainly build on the success of Technopolis Moscow by developing and promoting it further in the city.
How many and what sort of sites do you have in Technopolis?
Yes, there are. In fact, quite a few. But they are foreign only in terms of legislative requirements. All of them are Russian legal entities, but with foreign capital. There are such companies like this.
They say that Technopolis Moscow is building the future. What exactly does that mean?
Even our business card features the slogan saying, "The future is made here." That is, that this is truly a place where the future is being made. In fact, each of our residents either shapes new industry laws, a new product range, or, in any case, is competitive. We try to attract companies with full-cycle operations, including at the R&D stage, to ensure that they always operate in a competitive environment, continuously develop new solutions, and bring them to market on a commercial basis.
The status of being a Technopolis Moscow resident gives its holder a variety of privileges. First and foremost, this means tax breaks. Here, the tax burden reduction can be as much as 47%. Also, on the special economic zone's premises, there's enough electricity to support even the most energy-consuming kinds of activity. These supportive measures allow a significant reduction in costs as well as the launch time required for a new product.
Many countries have already made progress in this direction. For example, take California or China, for that matter, which have been in these industries for 40 to 50 years now. Russia has been in this business for 10 years at best. In fact, we're at the very beginning of the journey, when the formats are being tested, when the industry is taking shape, when the engagement among regulatory authorities, development institutions, market players, and investors leads to the creation of a code of business conduct. Investors always vote with one thing, their money. To date, we are almost full, which means that we've made the right choice in terms of the format.
We managed to talk to the representatives of several companies that work in Technopolis. They all say that they are proud to be part of the special economic zone. In fact, having the status of a Technopolis resident translates to additional advertising. If a company operates here, this means that its work is truly promising. In Technopolis, Moscow, there are over 130 different companies, and each has a very different profile. Right now, we're going to go meet one of the residents and see what they do. It's worth mentioning that not all Technopolis companies are open to media engagement. The point is that many companies have active government contracts containing non-disclosure clauses. But our crew eventually did manage to talk to the representatives of Goodwin, a Technopolis resident.
We are in the electronics business. We work in telecommunications. With our machinery at our sites, we develop and produce communications equipment for the industry. This communications equipment is used in factories, chemical plants, nuclear power plants, oil refineries, gas-producing companies, and so forth. We've been working here for 4 years already. What you see is called a surface mount line. We assemble printed circuit boards on it.
These small circuit boards play a major role. Without them, just about any automated system of many enterprises would simply be a chunk of expensive metal.
The capacity of these machines is quite high. That's why we get these circuit boards from Technopolis's residents too. Previously, they were sent to China, to Ryazan, and to Zelenograd for assembly. Today, these boards are delivered to the nearby hall. We make them and send them back that very day.
A situation where customers and suppliers are working under the same roof is one of the advantages offered by the special economic zone. Companies can save on logistics costs and find clients faster.
There are many companies here that we can work with. They give us jobs, and we give them jobs too. The synergy has been here for 4 years already. For example, we make these circuit boards for 10 companies that work on the premises of Technopolis. It's certainly a win-win situation. We use our machinery, and this reduces the downtime.
In Technopolis, there are 6 different thematical clusters, and now we're located in the medical cluster. This is Galina Volkova, owner of Ortomoda, which specializes in the production of orthopedic footwear and clothes for the disabled. The company has existed 20 years, 4 of which in the special economic zone. According to Galina, Technopolis was selected because here you can make efficient use of the latest digital technologies during the process of manufacturing goods.
Today, it is a truly digital kind of production we have, starting from foot scans to the actual production process. That is, everything is based on digital technologies. The latest project that we are implementing right now is a technological platform. We want to ensure that you can order your footwear from any part of the country or around the world by placing your order via this technological platform.
The first orders are already being processed. For example, take this batch of a new children's footwear model. It is about to be shipped to China.
As the culture of orthopedic footwear has not been created there yet, they are showing great interest in our product, and they are ready to buy it for their children.
Of course, not all goods are made by machines. Particularly complicated orders are still made by specialists manually. However, Galina is confident that it's only a matter of time. The future certainly belongs to advanced technologies. This opinion is shared by the employees of another company that has just recently become a new resident of Technopolis, Moscow. One of the biggest residents of Technopolis, Moscow, is Ecoplast. This factory is more than 5,000 square meters. Despite the scale, Ecoplast is only part of a major complex of home appliance recycling plants. Today, it is a large-scale project not only in Moscow, but also all across Russia. Nearly 1.5 billion rubles has been invested in the project already. Approximately 50 jobs have been created, and like all other companies that are residents of the Special Economic Zone, Ecoplast Corporation has received from the city all the benefits to which it is entitled.
Вот в таком виде поступает к нам сырье на завод. В данном случае это микс корпусных пластиков от разных.
These are the incoming raw materials
Сырье поступает, да, немножко пыльное,
that are being supplied to our plant. In this case, it's a mixture of plastic parts for electrical and electronic appliances. Then we clean them of dust, black and non-ferrous metals. Following that, the plastic is shredded. After it has gone through the recycling process that I've described, we have a homogeneous product. These are three types of plastic: ABS, PS, and PP, which acquires the gray and dark gray color. In this particular case, it's a plastic granule that is a recycled raw material ready for secondary production.
At first sight, the plastic recycling plant is not the most eco-friendly enterprise. Even more so because it is within the city limits. However, according to Ecoplast representatives, the plant's operations will have no harmful environmental impact whatsoever.
Today, all of our plants have zero environmental impact. At Ecoplast, this is ensured by two factors. The first one is the closed-loop water supply system. This means that all chemical substances present during the plastic treatment and recycling processes are entirely contained right here. The water treatment process takes place here as well, and then the water is recirculated in a new cycle. The gas cleaning system also ensures net zero emissions into the atmosphere.
To date, the Ecoplast plant has not been put into operation. Experts are still testing and checking the machinery. The full cycle production launch is scheduled for before the end of this year. By the way, at the time of our visit, all Technopolis sites intended for manufacturing were occupied. This innovative site has earned such a strong reputation that the Moscow government decided to create free economic zones in other parts of the city too.
Очень много иностранных инвесторов рассматривают территорию Новой Москвы как размещение для размещения своих
Many foreign
производств
investors
и
are considering the territory of New Moscow
проведение такой экономической
as a location
деятельности.
for their production
Это тоже
sites.
уникальный проект, которому проявляет внимание
This
большое
type of
количество
economic
наших
activity
иностранных партнеров
is also a unique project on which many of our foreign investors from Europe, from China, from other countries place great emphasis. Because there are 12 innovation hubs planned for construction in New Moscow. Investment there will reach several trillion rubles. We expect more than 2/3 of this amount to be foreign investment, including private investment. We hope that the city's expenditures for the creation of the state-of-the-art infrastructure here will pay off quickly as a result of the economic activities in the hubs. We plan to create more than 1 million jobs here.
Unlike the companies we've just visited, this manufacturing enterprise is not a resident of Technopolis, Moscow. However, it also enjoys tax breaks offered by the city. In August 2017, the Dutch company Smurfit Kappa acquired this Moscow-based plant producing corrugated cardboard and corrugated packaging. And so the Soyuz factory, founded back in 1925, not only received a new name, but also the status of an industrial hub.
Подобная поддержка правительства Москвы
The support provided by the Moscow government is driving the dynamic growth of businesses like ours. This tandem encourages investors to come. Experience shows that these are not only Russian but foreign investors too, in order to develop new production in the Moscow region.
With the arrival of foreign investors supported by the Moscow government, one of the capital's oldest plants has seen the onset of an industrial revolution. Today, automation of all technological processes and the launch of new production lines are in full swing here. The plant manufactures various types of packaging, pizza and cake boxes, packaging for fluids, and loose substances and paper bags.
We are in the recycling department. We see semi-finished products of our goods. Today, we produce 70 different compositions. Everything depends on the product that we need to protect. This determines the cardboard brand that we need to produce. I'm holding some E-flute cardboard intended for packaging, which will be resistant to crushing and heavy loads. Also, BE flute, which will keep goods such as glass, crystal, and TV sets safe. This is the one that is least vulnerable to creases and being crushed. And as such, it will stand up to heavy loads.
In order to make a cardboard box, first you need to prepare the paper. At the initial stage, the paper is corrugated by way of going through two corrugating rollers. Then, at a temperature of 190 degrees, the flat liner board and corrugated board are glued to each other in a split second. That's how heavy-duty double-wall cardboard is made. But this is not the final step. This is still a semi-finished product. Then it is the design engineers who begin to work with the cardboard. They cut the pieces of the future box using a special unit called a plotter. They also test them for durability. It is only after the customer's go-ahead has been received that the production of the ecological packaging finally begins.
Plastic items take 500 years to decompose. Corrugated carbon degrades over the course of several months. We care about the future of our planet and our children. Today, corrugated cardboard is the most environmentally friendly type of packaging. Also, it can be easily recycled. All wastes related to our production go to our suppliers of raw materials. Then, just 2 or 3 months later, we receive our own wastes as raw materials, and we use them again to produce finished goods.
Moscow is a rapidly growing, developing megapolis. It offers many investment opportunities to businessmen. One of the most lucrative investment opportunities supported by Moscow authorities is public transport. Today, Moscow is among the world's top 3 megapolises in terms of the pace of transport infrastructure development. According to the capital's government, every day more than 19 million passengers use public transport in Moscow. Over the past 8 months, the concept of passenger transportation in the city has been fully reinvented. Today, there is one system consisting of rail transportation, long-distance ground transportation, new mobility models, and a safe network of streets and roads. The list will soon be supplemented with another, new type of municipal transport, an aerial cable car system.
These are cable cars that will connect various new infrastructure facilities. They will be a center of attraction for guests coming to the capital.
In Moscow, the first cable car line was put into operation late last year on the route from Vorobyovi Gory to Luzhniki Stadium. Its length is 703 meters. Travel time is 4 minutes. This cable car line is mostly used by tourists.
Cable cars hold great promise as public transport because they have a number of advantages over conventional transport. In particular, they are noiseless and environmentally friendly. They do not require vacating any property. Cable cars can travel across many places, including those not suitable for road construction. That is, without causing any damage to either the environment or the landscape. You can build a cable car line from one shore to another at significantly lower costs in terms of both construction and ongoing use.
The first transportation project of this kind is now at the bidding stage. At the International Exhibition in Hanover, which took place in spring, the Moscow Investment and Industrial Policy Department offered foreign investors the chance to invest in the construction of a cable car line in the north of Moscow.
2 international manufacturers are already bidding for the contract, alongside Russian financial institutions and operating companies. By the end of the year, we plan to determine the results of the bidding and choose the winner.
The aerial route, spanning more than 2 kilometers, will connect metro stations Khodnenskaya and Brechnoy Vokzal. For Moscow, this is a large transportation experiment in which foreign players are ready to participate. After signing the concession agreement, the investors plan to fully finance the construction via investing 3.5 billion rubles.
Furthermore, right now there are about 8 more aerial cable car lines in different parts of the city being designed, and these will also serve as public transport. In the coming years, we plan to attract investors for these projects. For 4 years in a row, we have conducted surveys of American firms working in Moscow, asking them what direct investments they've made in the Russian economy.
Is Russia's capital still attractive for direct foreign investors? Do Western sanctions have an impact on the business climate in the city? Which factors contribute to the image of the megapolis in the eyes of the foreign business community? These were the topics of a roundtable discussion titled Moscow, the city's economic and investment potential. The business meeting was organized by Capital Ideas magazine via the support of the Moscow Department of External Economic and International Relations.
Moscow certainly remains the engine of economic development of the Russian Federation. It is a huge, dynamically growing megacity, which accounts for over 20% of the Russian Federation's GDP. More than half of foreign investment comes here and is further distributed across the Russian Federation. It is a city with massive economic and human resource potential. It is a recognized scientific and cultural center. This is the reason why we will do our best to keep the international community and our businessmen updated. There are good reasons why this topic was chosen. Today, foreign investment in Moscow is the key topic of our magazine and the central theme of all the issues. For example, this edition has an article on Yelena Rasudimova, general manager of a U.S. company that's been in the Russian market for more than 10 years already. It is rapidly expanding its business here. During the course of this time, they have established 2 enterprises making products not only for our country, but for export markets as well. It's obvious that today Moscow has great business centers, and commercial real estate in the market has become more affordable than, say, 10 years ago. This allows Moscow to attract not only major companies, those that build pharmaceutical, chemical, and aviation plants, but also medium and small-sized businesses that bring their resources here.
Today, there are many organizations in Moscow that support and help entrepreneurs. One of them is the Moscow Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It unites and supports almost 4,000 companies that conduct business in the city. To make it easier for businessmen here to search for international partners, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry has created an electronic catalogue of goods and services, Business Market.
Out of 74 projects, only 15 became finalists, projects of chambers of commerce from around the world. Our platform, Business Market, representing Russia, is among these 15 finalists. We place great hopes on it. It's growing bigger, becoming more and more popular, and it really works.
Today we discovered where the future is being created and what it is about Moscow that is so attractive to investors. I'm Mike Gibson. It's the program Capital Ideas Life. See you in the next program.